May 28th, 2010, the Santiago Bernabeu. A man falls to his knees as confetti rains from the sky. His face, a mixture of exhaustion and pure ecstasy. This man just achieved something that has never been done before or since. Something that Messi and Ronaldo, for all their greatness, have never accomplished. He won back-to-back trebles with 2 different clubs, the only player in football history to achieve this impossible feat. Yet somehow, he's rarely mentioned in the same breath as Drogba or Salah. This is Samuel Eto'o, and this is the story of football's forgotten king. A man who conquered Europe's biggest stages, who faced down racism with defiance, who turned rejection into rocket fuel. But by the end of this video, you'll understand why Samuel Eto'o's story is about more than just trophies. It's about the human spirit, and why his legacy deserves to live forever. The story begins in heartbreak. A 16-year-old Samuel Eto'o arrives at Real Madrid from Cameroon, carrying the dreams of an entire continent on his shoulders. Real Madrid couldn't see his potential. They saw a raw teenager from Cameroon who needed development, not the future legend he would become. Loan after loan. Leganes, Espanyol, back to Real Madrid reserves. Each move a reminder that he wasn't quite ready for the top level. The racism was real. The doubt was constant. But inside Samuel Eto'o, something was burning. Something that would never be extinguished. At Mallorca, everything changed. 70 goals in 165 games. But the numbers only tell part of the story. Mallorca president Matteo Alemany said of his style of play, "I doubt if there's any other player in the world who would please the fans more at this moment." Eto'o felt the love. "I like it here in Mallorca," he said. "I've always been well looked after. The fans appreciate me." 2003, Copa del Rey final, Mallorca versus Recreativo de Huelva. Eto'o scored 2 late goals in a 3-0 victory, delivering Mallorca's first ever Copa del Rey triumph. But the sweetest moments? Oh, they came against his former club. Eto'o scored in 2 consecutive away wins against Real Madrid, including a 5-1 thrashing that was Madrid's only home loss in their title-winning 2002-2003 season. Then, Barcelona came calling. 27 million euros. The club that would change everything. But what happened next wasn't just about football. It was about proving that dreams don't have expiration dates. August 2004, Camp Nou. Samuel Eto'o steps onto the pitch wearing the famous Blaugrana for the first time. The boy Real Madrid threw away was about to make them pay. His first season was poetry in motion. 25 goals, the Pichichi Trophy, but more than that, he played with a joy that was infectious. 2006, Paris, Champions League final. Barcelona were losing to Arsenal. The dream was dying. Then Eto'o struck. Not just a goal, a moment that changed history. Look at his face. Look at his face in that moment. Pure euphoria. This wasn't just about winning. This was about belonging, about proving that a kid from Cameroon could conquer Europe. But then came 2008. Pep Guardiola, a new philosophy, and suddenly Samuel Eto'o didn't fit. But when it mattered most, Eto'o delivered. Rome 2009, Champions League final, 10th minute, a perfectly timed run, a clinical finish. Manchester United absolutely stunned. The treble was complete. But even in triumph, Guardiola's mind was made up. Eto'o, he had to go. Indeed, a decision that would create the greatest individual season in football history. Now come July 26th, 2009. Samuel Eto'o's phone rings. On the other end, Jose Mourinho. He sent me a picture of Inter number 9's shirt and wrote, "It's yours. It's waiting for you."
I fought him every day. "Please, mister, let me play." "No, there is no please, mister, you are not going to play, you are not performing." You need a certain profile of players with mental stability to cope with the difficult moments, tell them exactly what you expect from them. I had, I think, hundreds of players. I always looked at each one of them as a different guy than the other guys. Every person is one individual. I give you an example of a very strong-minded guy, Samuel Eto'o. He won us the quarterfinals against Chelsea with Inter. He scored the winning goal here at Stamford Bridge. The week before the quarterfinals, I fought him every day. big discussion, big level of pressure. I told him, I'm not going to play you. You are not in your best level. You are not going to play. Please, mister, let me play. No, there is no please, mister. You are not going to play. You are not performing. I don't trust you. It was 1 week of an emotional work with him. Such a strong guy that I knew that he would react the way he did react. I wouldn't do that with a player of a complete different profile.
You see, Mourinho understood something Guardiola didn't. Eto'o wasn't just a player. He was a warrior. And warriors, they need battles to fight. I fought him every day, but I knew that if I could channel his anger, his hunger, his desire to prove everyone wrong would be unstoppable. Every training session was a war. Mourinho demanding perfection, Eto'o responding with fury and brilliance. April 2010, Champions League semi-finals, first leg at Camp Nou. When Thiago Motta got sent off, Mourinho's masterstroke emerged. Eto'o had to drop back and play as a full-back, going up and down the flank. They lost 1-0, but the return leg would be a different story. Second leg at San Siro, 3-1 to Inter. Eto'o's tactical discipline from the first leg had taught him exactly how to neutralize Barcelona. His movement, his intelligence, his willingness to sacrifice for the team. It broke Barcelona's spirit and sent Inter to the final. The final in Madrid against Bayern Munich. Eto'o was everywhere, defending, creating, leading. The most complete performance of his career. When the final whistle blew, Eto'o fell to his knees, not from exhaustion, but from overwhelming emotion. He had done the impossible. Here's the tragedy of that. Today, when people talk about African football legends, Samuel Eto'o's name barely gets mentioned. Just recently, JJ Okocha named his top 5 African players. Eto'o wasn't even on the list. On social media, fans debate endlessly. It has to be Salah, they say. Drogba was clutch. What about Mane? But they're missing the point entirely. Drogba was a battering ram. Powerful, intimidating, clutch in big moments. But Eto'o was poetry. He glided past defenders like they were standing still. Salah is devastating on his left foot, but Eto'o was ambidextrous. Right foot, left foot, headers, he could score from anywhere at any time. George Weah won the Ballon d'Or. A historic achievement indeed, yes, but Eto'o sustained excellence for over a decade. Weah had a moment. Eto'o had a career. But it wasn't just about style. It was also about moments. When the pressure was highest, when the stakes were great, Eto'o delivered. He understood the game on a level that transcended technique. He read situations, anticipated movements, made split-second decisions that completely changed the flow of matches. The few who remember fight passionately for his legacy, but their voices are drowned out by the noise of modern football. But Samuel Eto'o's greatest battles weren't fought on football pitches. They were fought against ignorance, against hatred, against a system that tried to diminish him. The racism was constant. Monkey chants, banana throwing, hatred disguised as banter. But Eto'o never backed down. When others stayed silent, he spoke up. When others accepted it, he fought back. In 2015, he received the European Medal of Tolerance, not for any of his goals nor any of his trophies, but instead for his courage. With Cameroon, he carried the hopes of an entire nation. 56 goals in 118 games. But the numbers don't capture the weight he carried. The World Cup that never came. The continental glory that remained elusive. Each failure just cutting much deeper, just because he cared so much. Coming from a man who worked with Ronaldo, Benzema, and Hazard, this was the ultimate recognition. When he finally hung up his boots, the football world lost more than a player. It lost a pioneer, a fighter, a symbol of what's possible when talent meets determination. So, now we're here. What is Samuel Eto'o's true legacy? It's not just the trophies, though there are plenty. It's not just the goals, though they were spectacular. It's the doors he opened, the barriers he broke. The young African players who saw him succeed and dared to dream. He remains the only player in football history to win back-to-back trebles with different clubs. Not Pele, not Maradona, not Messi, not Ronaldo. Only Samuel Eto'o. ESPN Africa calls him one of the most underrated strikers of all time. But those who truly understand football know better. He wasn't just underrated, he was transcendent. A player who elevated everyone around him through sheer force of will. Today, when we see African players dominating European football, we're seeing Samuel Eto'o's legacy. He didn't just succeed. He showed others it was possible. The numbers are impressive, but the impact is immeasurable. Samuel Eto'o's story is about more than football. It's about resilience in the face of rejection. It's about excellence despite adversity. It's about proving that greatness has no color, no borders, no limits. He achieved something that the greatest players in history never could. And he did it with grace, with power, with an unbreakable spirit. He may be forgotten by casual fans, yes. Overlooked in modern debates, for sure. Legends don't need recognition to be legendary. Samuel Eto'o is the greatest African footballer of all time. Not because of the trophies he won, no. But because of the barriers he broke. Not because of the goals he scored either, but because of the dreams he inspired. He was and is and will always be a king. The king of African football. The king of impossible dreams made real. He is Samuel Eto'o. Hey there, glad you made it to the end of the video. Speaking of legends who faced rejection and turned it into greatness, check out our deep dive on Unhealthy Maria, the Argentina hero who fans have quickly forgotten despite conquering every stage. His journey from coal yards to World Cup glory will leave you speechless. But before you go, we want to hear from you. Who do you think is the greatest African player of all time? Does Samuel Eto'o deserve that crown, or does someone else take it? I surely think he does. And where would you rank him among the greatest strikers in football history? Not just from Africa, but globally. Drop your thoughts in the comments. We read every single one. So yeah, your debates help shape our future videos. And as always, thank you for watching. Bye for now.